I know when I think of Halloween, I think of a graveyard. So this next Halloween old fashioned is going to be a graveyard inspired. Are you ready? Are you scared? You should be. Let's go. Welcome back to Old Fashioned Ways. I'm Doc Martinez and I'm making another Halloween cocktail, a Halloween old fashioned cocktail. So this one is called the Haunted Graveyard. Yep, Haunted Graveyard. Ooh. This one's gonna be made in a mixing glass. It does call for some rosemary and some orange. You're probably wondering, what are you talking about? Yeah, we're gonna put a little bit of rosemary on the bottom here. Look, there's a nice little sprig there. Nice little sprig there. Let's see, one more. Let's add one more in there. And we'll move these off to the side for now. We're gonna need that again later. Then we're gonna get a cut of orange. We're gonna get a little slice of orange. So let's cut this one open. Move that part over there. And I only need a section of this, and we're also gonna drop that in there. Now, I know a few of you are like, what are you doing adding this to an old fashioned? Well, think of a Wisconsin old fashioned. It adds some fruits to the bottom. So let's make sure to muddle this, get some of these juices flowing in here. We want to make sure we get a little bit of each of the orange and that rosemary to express their oils a little bit. Now, you don't want to overdo it because you don't want too much of the orange peel coming through because it can kind of make it bitter. Now, the rest of this, we're going to need some ice in here. Let's just dump some ice in here. The rest of this is going to be a very simple old fashioned. We're going to start off with the bitters. Yep, orange bitters. Now, this calls for like 4 dashes of orange bitters. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 dashes of orange bitters. I bet no one would like that. Next, it actually calls for some maple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce. I'll be using this one. I like this one because, as you can see, it's got that nice glitter in there. So kind of just adds on to the holiday spirit. So about 3/4 of an ounce. If you want less, add less. Maple syrup goes a long way to adding flavors, and it brings in a lot of the flavors in like any whiskeys like rye and bourbons. Now, talking about that, the star of the show is actually a rye. Yep. We're going to start off with some Sagamore Spirit Rye. Now, this is a barrel select. Barrel 158, I believe this is 110 proof. Nice high proof for this one. Yeah, I forgot to mention, I did this video before. There was no volume on it. And the first time I did the video, look, the top was broken. So I managed to get it out without dropping any of the cork in there. So I'm proud of myself for that. We're going to do 2 full ounces of this. So there we go. Maybe a little bit more than 2 full ounces, but that's okay. This is a graveyard, a haunted graveyard. So, hey, if I'm going to the graveyard, I want to be happy. We're going to use this skull stirrer to stir this up. You can see some skulls, some ghosts, and all that in the graveyard. Yep. Make sure to stir this till you feel a nice little chill on the glass. The smells coming off of this are amazing. I can just smell everything. It smells so good right now. Can't wait to try this for the second time. Look at that. The rosemary came to the top. All right, that feels nice and chilled. We're gonna move this over. We're gonna use this special glass I got. It is a hand. It's a skeleton hand holding this glass with a nice clear ice in it. Right now, I don't know where my strainer is, so I'm gonna use my Death Star strainer for this one. And here we go. Perfect there. You see that? You know, it's the fog you're gonna see in a graveyard, kind of make it haunted. Now, it doesn't end there. For this one, they want you to get a rosemary and they want you to smoke it over the top of the glass. So we're going to do that. Now, you're going to hear a fan in the background. This is because my wife doesn't like that smell of smoke in this room. So I don't want to end up in the graveyard. So happy wife, happy life. Here we go. Just smoke this a little bit until you get that smoke coming off the top. Now, it's funny. The first time I did this, my rosemary was super dry. So it actually lit fire and lots of smoke coming off. It looked really cool. But here you go. Now we're just gonna move this aside. That was more for a visual effect than anything else. And let's go in for that drink. Cheers. Ooh, using that little bit of dry ice to kind of give you that little fog made this drink nice and chill and cold. It's a nice cold drink. You can see it, just the glass is just fogged up already. Just a nice, good, basic old fashioned. You taste that rye, you taste the orange, hint of rosemary. The rosemary doesn't come out a lot. I thought a little bit of rosemary can go a long way and doesn't really hit you. And then that little bit of sweetness at the end. Great, great, great old fashioned. This is a great old fashioned. Definitely one I would recommend trying. Well, my friends, thank you for joining me on another journey down my Halloween old-fashioned rabbit hole. To our next journey, my friends, or our next scare. Cheers. Damn, that's good.